Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today we're doing episode 1 on how to develop your psychic senses. Today's episode is on clairvoyance. In today's episode, we're going to discuss what is clairvoyance, some crystals and herbs you can use to enhance this psychic sense, and I'll take you through some exercises to start tuning in and working on your clairvoyance yourself. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love sharing my witchy tips here with you on YouTube. I release content every Wednesday, so make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss one. I also plan to go live at each of my milestones, so at 5,000 subscribers and 10,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit the little bell if you don't want to miss out on potentially getting a card pulled for you. I've also got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and my website with a blog, as well as a Patreon page as well. So if you're wanting to support me in other areas or look at my other content, jump on over to those. Let's begin with what is clairvoyance? Well, each of our senses that we have in the normal world has an alternate sense in the psychic world. So the sense of sight is called clairvoyance when we're talking psychic information. So clairvoyance refers to your third eye generally, so your mind's eye, but it can also come through your physical eyes as well. So what does this all mean? Basically, it's a way of getting information that you couldn't otherwise have gotten from your standard physical surroundings. So this is a spiritual sense. Now, how can this come across and how can we know it or recognize it when we see it? So there's a few different ways that you may perceive things clairvoyantly. The first is probably what people expect it to be, which is seeing something physically with your eyes, whether that is a ghost or a spirit or a past loved one, that sort of thing. And a lot of psychic mediums do have that particular gift of clairvoyance where they can see it with their physical eyes. And you'll see that if you're having a reading with someone, that they're looking over your shoulder and they're looking at someone or they're looking around the room and, they see dead people, okay? But that isn't the most common form of clairvoyance, and it's not the way that I perceive it myself. So ways that it comes through for most of us, and remember we're all psychic, it's just how you develop it and where you start to focus it. How it comes through for me is symbols and colours and sometimes words, like reading something that's in my mind's eye. Now, this might be when my eyes are closed or sometimes when they're open. It's almost like I can see an image, like using your imagination with your eyes open. Similar to that, imagination is the best way to start working on this sense. Now, I have been contacted by a lot of people that have aphantasia. I would like to touch on this in another specific video as well. And I actually have this. So I have aphantasia with most things. So if someone says to me, imagine a star, I say in my head, okay, star is going to be yellow and it goes up, down, so, but I don't see it. I don't physically see it with my mental imagery, okay? And aphantasia has lots of different sections to it. And I'm actually going to put up a little thing here so you can see how it looks to you to know if you have it. So if you imagine something, what level are you actually seeing that? Now, when I get something that is an intuitive hit clairvoyantly, I still see things, even though it's not like a movie. It's still going to be an image to me. Even if somehow my clairaudience kicks in and starts describing what it looks like to me, it's still kind of the same. It's very, very hard to describe because, again, it's in our imagination, in our mind's eye. Now, another way that this can come through, apart from symbols and colours and then you interpreting those as well, is dreams. So the dream space or the meditation space when we go into a guided meditation or a visualization. Okay, these are both forms of clairvoyance, especially if you're getting something like a premonition dream, so seeing something happen, maybe a visitation dream from an ancestor or a loved one coming into your dreams, or a spirit guide or someone from your team. So all of these are forms of clairvoyance, and that's tapping in with your mind's eye. A couple of crystals you can start to incorporate into your daily routine or around your space or on your person that are going to assist with this are mostly crystals that are linked with your third eye chakra and your crown chakra. So some of my favorites, this one here. This is labradorite. This is a raw labradorite, and this one is linked with your third eye chakra. So it opens up your intuition, your connection, and your connection to the divine and understanding as well. And having this around can be really good at decalcifying your pineal gland, which is right in the center of your brain, in between the two hemispheres, and it's known as our mind's eye as well. And this one's really good to have around children for that same reason, so that calcium doesn't build up over the time. That can block our intuition. Amethyst is always a good one, and if you haven't got any crystals, this is a great first one to get. So having some amethyst by your bed, under your pillow, really, really good way to especially start working with the dream space. Rainbow moonstone, one of my favorite crystals. Again, this one's linked to your crown chakra. So all three of these have been crown chakra crystals. So this one is really, really good at enhancing your intuition, and it also is great at protecting you as well as you do that. And lapis lazuli. Now this one I wear as a bracelet quite often. I also have a pair of earrings that I wear. It's a really great crystal and a few little tiny pillars of it as well. This was King Solomon's favorite crystal. And he was a very gifted, psychic as well and medium. So very, very good crystal to have on hand. Now let's chat about some herbs that you can use to open this clairvoyance up for yourself. Eyebright is a really great one to use, okay? Eyebright links in with the physical eyes and your mental third eye as well, okay? So having this one as a tea before bed or before you go into meditation, really, really great at stimulating that third eye. Now, I don't have any mugwort here with me, but that's another really good one for the same effect. Mugwort tea is very good for opening your intuition and your psychic awareness. And then we have this one. This is valerian root tea. This is a very smelly tea. I keep this in my laundry cupboard on the top shelf because it smells like feet. It's not great. But when you actually boil it and put it into a tea, it doesn't taste that bad and the smell goes down. It right now is not a fun smell at all. It's very earthy, footy smell. But when you put it in the tea, it becomes a little bit more minty, still earthy though. And it doesn't taste bad. It's actually quite pleasant to drink. Now, valerian root tea, as with any herbs that you're going to be using, make sure you research them. Some of them are not safe depending on other medications you may be on or other issues you may have in your body, physical issues. So some people that have heart problems can't take certain herbs, that sort of thing. If you have allergies to something in the plant kingdom already and you know that's a possibility, then definitely be very, very careful trying anything new. And especially as well if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, because there are a lot of herbs that you just can't take whilst you're doing that. Same with essential oils. Okay, so always please be very careful. They can be dangerous. But valerian root tea is really good for when you're having, insomnia, things like that. So it's good for sleep, but it also makes your dreams really crazy and wild and vivid. Great when you're trying to enhance that aspect as well. Now we're going to start discussing what you can actually do to enhance your clairvoyance. The first step is meditation, and you're going to see this in every single one of these episodes on the psychic senses, because meditation is the best path forward for all of your psychic senses. Once you start working with them, you're going to figure out which one you are most strong in. So where all of them are going to come in at some point, you're going to have a particular strength that's going to work best with you. Sometimes you might have 2 or 3 that work really well. It just depends on you. And if you focus on that one that is really strong, it's only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. You're better off focusing on the thing you're already good at and making it better rather than the thing you're not really good at, because it's not going to see as much growth for you. If you're not really good at, claircognizance, who cares? Doesn't matter. So with clairvoyance, some of the ways you can start, opening this up and stepping into it. is with your focus. So being focused on having that as your goal. One way I like to do this is I will sit there and just rub my finger in a circular motion around this third eye. And I do this before meditation as well to just stimulate it. It's stimulating and opening the chakra. You may, if you've ever seen me do readings, especially in a live before, you may see me doing this. I'm stimulating my hand chakras. I do that before a meditation as well and just cleanse my aura. But for this is stimulating that third eye chakra. So you rub, 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 rub. Then a really handy tip is, it's not super comfortable. It's basically you look, so you're going to make yourself cross-eyed. Look at the space where that is. So you're looking here as much as you can, but with your eyes closed. This is not comfortable to hold for a long amount of time. So some other tips aside from meditation, rubbing on that third eye chakra and focusing with your eyes on that chakra are to do some exercises. Now you can do this yourself. You can do this with a friend. It doesn't really matter. A really great one is to grab a tarot deck or a standard deck of cards, okay? Now, we're going to do this right now. So you're going to do this through the screen with me. So I'm just going to shuffle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a card. I'm going to look at the card. Now, I want you to take 3 deep breaths. We'll do it together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Very good. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. And I'm going to give you a minute or so to focus. Focus on this card. I'm going to look onto it and you can start tuning into my energy and I'm going to start focusing on this, right? So I'm sending it out there to you guys. So what I want you to be focusing on is anything that you see behind your eyes, whether that is a symbol, a color, an image, anything like that that comes through in your mind's eye, in your imagination space. So tune in. I'm going to stop talking so you can focus and just see what comes up. Trust it. Don't question it. Write it down. Just go with it. Now, some of the things you may have seen. So I'm just going to detail a couple of ones that could have come through and the things I was focusing on and sending out there. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now the Wheel of Fortune card, I'm going to place that up here. So there is a snake, there is a devil. You may have seen a circle or a disc. You may have seen a sword, an X, which is the Roman numeral for 10, which is the number of this card. You may have seen books, clouds, the colour blue, the colour orange, the colour yellow. You may have, seen something spinning, like a spinning disc as well. That could have come through here. A sphinx. So there are a few different things. There are animals. There's an eagle, a person, or an angel, an ox, and a lion. So there are a few different symbols that you could have picked up on and seen through that card. Symbols, colours, that sort of thing. It's okay if you didn't get any. This is just one simple exercise that you can do, and it takes time and it takes practice. Now, the best way to do it is in a way that you're going to get that validation back. Validation is key for enhancing your abilities. So if you didn't have, me here saying, okay, you could have looked at these or this could have come through, if you didn't have one of those, you're going to feel a little bit like, oh, flat, okay. But if you did, if you're like, oh, I thought I saw a snake, oh my gosh, did I really pick up on that? And it gives you this little boost and it starts to open you up a little bit more. So it's really, really great if you can do it with someone else, but especially if you have a mentor or someone like myself that has these, has clairvoyance or something already and can give you that validation. So there are numerous ways you can do this with your own tarot deck at home, as I said, with someone else, if someone pulls a card or holds an object and, tries to send you that energy, and you can do it virtually via the internet. You can do it in person as well. So hopefully that gives you a couple of things that you can start working on. I'd love to hear how you went with that particular exercise, and if that's something you'd like to see more of. I may even start incorporating it into some lives and do some of that. I think it could be really, really fun. Anyway, I've had a great time here with you all today, and I can't wait for the next episode, which is going to be on clairaudience, which is clear hearing. I'll see you all then. Bye for now.